professional. Maybe that's it. Have you ever gotten a bike or had a bike that you just didn't like the way it looked? Or maybe you liked the way it looked, but you just wanted it to be a little more yours? Well, this is exactly how I felt with my Villiers Jena. The gray colorway was fine for other people, but for me, it just wasn't a match. And I had a grand vision of having that bike match up with the camper van. This is the perfect combination. All-terrain vehicle, all-terrain vehicle. But when I first got the bike, I was so excited to ride it that I didn't want to take it all apart and wait to have it painted and all this stuff. I just rode it. So I got this new fork that I was gonna put on that bike, and I thought, great, this is the perfect time to paint it because I'm already halfway there. Find out the fork doesn't actually fit that frame, but it doesn't matter. I was mostly scared of doing the housing in and out of the bike. I just didn't think that I could ever get it back in there, and I don't have a bottom bracket tool. But I wanted to paint the bike, so those were my limitations, and I figured, fuck it, I can still do this with those things in there. Then they're already in there. So this is how I did it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Two things to note, and I think this is an important one. Anybody can do these steps that I'm about to show you without an air compressor or a fan to pull exhaust. I personally believe that you can accomplish this with just spray paint. But there is one big difference between spray paint and the paint that I'm using, which is a single stage, two-part, automotive, heavy-duty, durable paint. Spray paint is not super durable. If you're only using spray paint, I highly suggest doing more than one coat. In between coats, wet sand with 800 to 1000 grit, alcohol wipe down, and apply your next coat. I highly suggest doing this 2 to 3 times. It's annoying, it's a pain in the ass, but in the end, it's gonna be the best result that you can get with the resources that you have. But the very first thing before anything else is I had to figure out what I wanted my design to look like. I'm a big fan of freewheeling it and just seeing what happens. This one, I wanted it to look a specific way because I wanted it to match the camper van. So I really needed to see visually how these elements would translate from a rectangle to a bicycle. I used a photo of the bike and just blocked out very simply where logos and color blocking would go. The camper van is slated to have truck bed liner along the bottom, and it's already painted white. So these were the two colors that I needed to work with. And I knew that truck bed liner would look fucking cool on a bike, especially on the undercarriage where rocks are always dinging the bike. Every color is a step. It requires masking and cleaning and time in between each color. But only 2, that's better than 6. The last time I did 6 fucking colors.
I gotta laugh at your kids who smoke it, the pot. You gotta run like hell, or you're gonna get caught. You put on that old oil to kill it, the smell. But I'm gonna tell it to you kids, it smells like hell. You gotta keep watch while you're weed. It grows soon, time to smoke it, the pot which you know. First you try to cure it in a pan, and you try to smoke it if you can. Your daddy say, what's that bad smell? I tell you, woman, smell like hell. I smoked it down to the very butt. While you stayed hid in that little hut. Hey man, we had to run like hell. You and Huey and Wayne and Bill. You had to run like hell when you smoke in the grass.
All right, the graphics. I just had a vision for this bike sitting on the back of the camper van, looking like it was part of the whole package. How fucking cool is it? Here's a good tip. If you are at all interested in customizing your bike in a simple, straightforward fashion, I can't suggest enough getting a craft plotter cutter. They're awesome. They're only a couple $100. Their interface is a pain in the ass, but you can cut all kinds of crazy vinyl with it, and man, is it cool. Like, I made fucking Exxon stickers. What the fuck? So let's go. Okay. The only thing I've done is put on a crooked Villiers sticker, and that's it. So those craft plotter cutters will max out around 12 inches. Maybe it's 24, I forget. Basically, I have to hand cut the stripes for this, and I'm nervous. I'm just nervous, I'm nervous. Because they're long, straight, skinny pieces. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I could cut them weird. I could run out of material. I could get them almost there and then cut them wrong. I could get a little hook inside of it. I could cut both of them at 2 different widths. When you're messing with vinyl and you want it to relax into a spot that it's not quite getting, just use a lighter and it will calm down that material a bit so it can conform to different spaces, especially if it's kind of cold. There's a tight corner in here, so I'll just heat it up a little bit. It'll relax the vinyl and it'll stick right in there. Just nice, real quick. Not too much heat, boom. A heat gun also works. A lighter's quick. These fucking orange tires are throwing me off though. What if I plasti dip them? They're kind of obnoxious, but I'm too stubborn cheap to just like get rid of them. Plus I put new sealant inside of them, so I'm fucking locked in at least for another 6 to 12 months. So here I just decided to go over the whole thing with the heat gun, because vinyl has a hard time when it's colder. It gets really brittle, so if I relax all the stuff on here now, it should have a little bit better of a chance hanging around for a while. I should have clear coated over this. I just didn't want to fuck with it. I was impatient, and the van doesn't have clear coat, so partly in my head I thought, like, it's the same as the van. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. This is a cool trick I learned from my neighbor Dick. Boiling hot water. Thank you, electricity. Thank you, hot water. Take your spray paint, or in my case, Plasti Dip, America's #1 aerosol rubberizer, and you put it in the hot water. Don't explode. And what this will do is it heats up the can of paint and it'll spray like it's 70 degrees instead of 50 degrees. Okay, logo breakdown. Why the hell did I do what I did? Yenna logo, had to make it Mitsubishi font. It looks so good. Stripes, very self-explanatory, match the van. Couple of chrome stickers on here. Chrome is a sponsor for the 2020 season. We've got the one-wheel drive because, I'm just saying, one-wheel drive. I learned that from the Stinner crew. NASA, but of course, fucking Space Machine. The older NASA logo just looks so good. Tom Sachs nod, and the fact that space is cool and all that shit. Gore is a sponsor for EBD on the 2020 season. We got Panaracer on here. Panaracer hooks it up with gear. They're not necessarily a channel sponsor. Their logo just looks so good, and it's Japanese, and the Delica's Japanese, and I love the tires. Of course, a Klein on there, self-obsessed narcissist. Can't go anywhere without it. I threw the Delica logo on there. I thought it just made sense. The Villiers, of course. Villiers is a sponsor of EBD for the 2020 season also. On the non-drive side, we did Villiers logo upside down because I like to take pictures of my bike upside down. It's really easy to place it wherever the hell you want. Moving on down the line, I threw a Canon logo on there because, you know, how cool would it be to be supported by Canon? And again, their logo is so good. And with the plotter cutter, you're just able to kind of throw whatever you want on anywhere, and it's maybe a little gray area. It's probably not that legal. It just all makes sense in some funny way. And then maybe the biggest, most confusing one is the Exxon logo. Again, their logo looks badass. Humor and juxtaposition were the main driving forces with toying with the Exxon logo. Toying with logos is very appealing to me. There's so much representation in these little simple icons. Maybe that's it. Well, there you have it. I hope you found that informative. Hopefully you've been inspired by this video to go ahead and decorate your own bike. Share it with me on Instagram. I really want to see what you come up with. If there was anything I missed and you have a question, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you liked blah blah blah, I've got to do a quick International Players Club shout out to the one and only Gravelsmith, who is on the mend from knee surgery. What up, Gravel? I'm just assuming that everyone that's made it this far is subscribed, because if you haven't subscribed at this point, you thought that was good, you could also check out this video where I painted a 6-color camo pattern on my gravel bike. What the hell was I thinking? Until next week, dear friends, that's it!